Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl 56 is right around the corner, and it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals against the Los Angeles Rams, as you've definitely heard by now. But I want to talk about my predictions for the game, and before we get to that, I want to talk about how each team got here to the Super Bowl. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals are a team that really wasn't supposed to be here. When you look back at the beginning of the season, Ja'Marr Chase was getting roasted online for not being able to catch the ball in the preseason, and really they're projected to win about 4 or 5 games, but they proved everyone wrong in the regular season. Joe Burrow looked amazing. Ja'Marr Chase is probably the offensive rookie of the year, and they would go 10-7 somehow, winning the AFC North. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals would win their first playoff game in over 30 years, defeating the Las Vegas Raiders in the wild card round. And then in the second round, they would play the 1 seed Tennessee Titans. Not many expected them to win, but I actually expected them to win, and they won with a game-winning kick from Evan McPherson. But there was one huge issue with the team that really showed during this game. Their offensive line is absolute shit. Joe Burrow was running for his life against fucking Denico Autry. I mean, I think that's going to be a huge problem for them in this game, going up against the best defensive line in the league. But anyways, they'd go on to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs, and they'd be down 18, but somehow they came back and took the game to overtime, and Evan McPherson clutched up again, taking the team to the Super Bowl. Jackson Mahomes is no more. Now, the Los Angeles Rams are a team that a lot of people, including me, expected to be here because they finally got their quarterback over the offseason, Matthew Stafford, and really, it was going to take them to the next level. And during the middle of the season, they traded for Von Miller, and that was definitely going to help their defensive line, really. Even though he's past his prime, he's still borderline elite. And then Odell Beckham Jr. was cut by the Cleveland Browns. And when Robert Woods went down with an injury that ended his season, it was only fitting they went out and got Odell Beckham Jr. And really, he's been elite for them in the games he's played. Their elite defense, along with their new look offense, helped them to a 12-5 record where they won the NFC West. And they would go on to beat the Arizona Cardinals in the wild card round and then in the divisional round, sending Tom Brady into retirement, but Tom Brady still had a little bit of fight left in him, and the Rams almost choked. Then the 49ers came along, their division rival, and they put up quite a good fight, but the Rams were able to just barely edge them out to go to the Super Bowl. Now, this is a game I feel like with elite offenses, because the Rams, you obviously got Matthew Stafford, then you got a guy who's arguably been Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. He's been great, by the way, as I've said. Then you got Odell Beckham Jr., who's been great for the Rams. Van Jefferson having a breakout year. And then Cam Akers coming back from a torn Achilles. Their O-line's been pretty solid. And Tyler Higbee, I don't know if he'll play, but he's there. The Bengals, on the other hand, they got a great young quarterback, Joe Burrow. He's probably been a top 10 quarterback this season for sure. Joe Mixon at running back, one of the best running backs in the league. I'd put him top 6 probably. Ja'Marr Chase, Offensive Rookie of the Year. T. Higgins, a young rising star. C.J. Uzomah at tight end. And then really a non-existent O-line. They are absolute shit. Joe Burrow was sacked 51 times this season, and if you wanted to guess, you would be correct. That was the most in the NFL. He was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. And on the other end, you got the Rams D-line with the best player in the league, in my opinion, Aaron Donald. You got Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, and Troy Reeder. I mean, Joe Burrow's going to be running for his life really that whole game, if we're being honest. Now, the Rams secondary is really good because you got Jalen Ramsey, who is the best corner in the league by far. You got Darius Williams, who's been pretty solid at corner. And then at the safety position, you got Eric Weddle, who's been really good in these playoffs. Just came out of retirement for these playoffs. And you also got Nick Scott at strong safety, who's been pretty good for them as well. Now, that's not to say that the Bengals don't have a good defense. They actually have a pretty good defense as well. Let's start with their D-line. You got Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, and DJ Reader. Now, their secondary is also pretty solid too, because you got Jesse Bates, who is probably a top 5 free safety in the league. He is great. You got Von Belt, the strong safety as well. Then you got Mike Hilton at corner, who is really good in the Chiefs game. Then Eli Apple at corner, who is not good in the Chiefs game. Now, when it comes to coaching, I think we all know who has the better coaching staff. That would be the Los Angeles Rams. Sean McVay is a top 3 coach in the league. He's great. Their offensive coordinator, I forget his name, he's about to be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. The Bengals, they got Zach Taylor head coach. He's been pretty solid for them, but I would say the Rams have the advantage in the coaching category. Now, I think that the Rams are going to jump out to an early lead. They'll be up 17-3 at halftime. Joe Burrow will be sacked 3 times in the first half, but then something special will happen in the second half. Going into the fourth quarter, the Bengals are going to come back. They're going to have a huge fourth quarter, and they're going to tie the game at 24. But in the final 3 minutes, Matthew Stafford will connect with Cooper Kupp, and the Rams will take a 7-point lead, but the Bengals can't respond, and the Rams get the win. I think that's how the game's going to go. 31-24, I got the Rams. Now, let me know your predictions down in the comments. I want the Bengals to win, but I don't think they will. I'm not a Bengals hater. I want them to win. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.